LAMF. So today's cold opening, as you can see I'm recording, today's cold opening, Fu Chengyu and Morgana are working to create a Moldovan fox franchise, trying to sell t-shirts first to them and t-shirt cannons. Fu is in deep trouble with Sinopec and receives a phone call from the new boss, Yongsheng Ma. Well, Yongsheng Ma is the actual boss of Sinopec.
I assumed you didn't make up the name.
You are, we already have some of these parts. So you are Morgana, and Moldovan Bad Fox one, aka Xavier Fox.
Yes.
I am Sinopec boss Yongsheng Ma and also Fu Chengyu.
Yes. I won't do the voice.
Action. Ring, 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 ring. Oh yeah. All right, this is that Moldova?
Yes, it is. My name. Who are you?
I'm Fu Chengyu. I represent Texas T-Shirt Cannons Incorporated, and we would like to set up a new franchise deal with you, selling T-shirts and T-shirt cannons in Moldova. Now,
You're in charge of the TTCI.
That's exactly right. I'm going to pass you over now to my business colleague, Morgana. What's your name, Morgana?
Huntington?
Aye, her.
No? Flanders. Okay. Bună ziua or hello. Oh, hello. My name is Morgana, and we would like to work with you on a t-shirt idea. Oh, well, I'm pretty bad. So F you.
Oh, bloody hell, the line's been cut. Oh, I'm getting an incoming call. Oh, I've been dreading this one. Ring, 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 ring.
I think this one's for Fu.
Oh, I blooming wish it weren't. It's only my boss, Yongsheng Ma.
Here's the phone, Fu.
Hello, Fu Chengyu speaking, former director of Sinopec Group, now CEO of Texan T-Shirt Cannons Incorporated.
TCI.
Aye, Sheng, Yongsheng Ma, yeah. Fu, what have you done with, oh gosh. When our man put you in charge, we had $15 billion won, and it's all gone. Bloody bailiffs written all the taking couches. Off you done, fool. Sorry, Young. I invested all unwisely. Oh, what did you invest in? I invested it in peanuts. What do you mean peanuts? But peanut farming ints. In Inns. Yeah, in Inns. Well, they don't grow peanuts in Inns. I know. Bunch of lads drove their dirt bikes all over it. They ruined it. I have to go now. Meter's gone. Beep. Oh, bloody hell, Morgana. We're in trouble.
Would you like a brew, Fu?
Aye, go on then.
Aye. Well,
Maude, it's a Maude good cat. Supportive wife from mother. She's got an unfronted dog-faced smile. Maude objectified by dirty next-door neighbor. It was Judas on the hill with the lies. Joy of Shane, unapologetic friend of cow. She's got the pocket bread of days out. It's an Indian wedding, kissing the cement. It's the Maude Goodman Internet Podcast, Season 7, Episode 2. Who would have thought it?
Episode 4. Who would have thought it? Not you.
Not. Listen, anyway, we're chilling out here now in Clinton's limo. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're having the time of her life. I know Roswell, thankfully, she's gone home because we gave her £4,000 to do one.
No, there's a multitude.
We don't like that term.
Oh yeah, sorry. Someone's knocking on the window. Limo driver, Gindie Gandler, roll the window down.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, there's another taxi at the side of us. Is that?
I need money.
It is.
I need money to pay for that taxi. Oh, how much do you want? I need $4,000, Clinton, not my president. Stuff. I'll keep it down my bra for safekeeping.
Give it to the taxi driver.
He's done one. He can floor it.
Look how sad that taxi driver looks. What is he mouthing?
He's saying Colorado. Maggie, did you get a taxi all the way from Colorado and then do one and not pay him? Florida, Gindy. Oh, bloody hell. Taxi driver, follow that cab.
It looks like he's got a new passenger anyway. It looks like Murdoch's back, and he is beginning to give chase.
Foaming at the mouth.
Foaming at the mouth. Florida, Gindy.
At the end of a long school day, amidst the grounds of Oral Roberts University, Choggy Mandibles is stood in the courtyard raking the same pile of leaves. He has now put on some underkecks.
At the end of a long school day, Choggy is stood in the courtyard raking the same pile of leaves. He is wearing underkecks.
Sweep, 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 sweep. Oh, Choggy. Looks like you've been having a real good day here. These leaves, they've never been arranged into piles even more than that. Do you need a ride home at all? It's getting a bit dark.
Home.
Okay, yes, get in the car then. Come on, my friend Jackie D, who teaches here, is going to help us. Okay, so buckle in. I hope it's not far because my tea's on the table.
Home.
Beep beep. Chugga 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 chugga. Is it over here?
Home.
Is it over here?
Uh.
Time passes. Many times pass. Chuggy, it's almost midnight, Chuggy. We've been driving for 5 hours. Where is your house?
Home.
Well, I've been silent for long enough. What cannot be said, above all, must not be silenced but written. Here's a piece of paper. Write down your address, dickhead.
Quadrupence.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Zaz? You're sitting right next to me. How are you doing that with your voice?
I don't understand the question. I'm in some kind of car, but I'm not. I'll answer your questions in a minute. Jacques Derrida. Do you know that he was known in France for winning farting competitions?
Really? Doesn't surprise me. He's quite a meaty chap, isn't he? Anyway,
He went by the name Jock the Ripper.
Jock the Pipper.
Exactly.
Hello, goodman morning and marsh mitts welcome and ledge and pick at a boundary, you cloudy individual. Scottish amateur bodybuilder and ganja white knight. Unencrypted Wi-Fi traffic to sophisticated man-in-the-middle attacks within southern Arabia and the miraculous lacrimation of the effigy. All hail corporate imperialism. Sponsor Tony, Ian, Max Stone, Graham Roswell, and Gary Suspension Mileage Bongo cartoonist. Living in the bushes for your security. No books out. Not accidental malice perpetrated by secret societies that have ancient connections to other secret societies, old alliances, and people who tell you they will teach you about the creator of the universe.
Sponsor Flim Flam from Scooby-Doo. A young con artist who becomes an ally of Scooby-Doo. He always uses trickery and craftiness to outsmart people. However, he can be childish and doesn't really look before he leaps. Rest in peace.
I wonder if Sharon Flim Flam ever got her hands on John Poop 17.
I'm sure one day we'll find out.
Sponsor the Lung Fu Academy, just next to Netto. Jitsu to Jiu-Jitsu Junior to Jiu-Jitsu Seniors.
Sponsor Scott Walker, rest in peace.
31st century man.
Yes. Scott Walker is a young con artist who becomes an ally of Scooby-Doo. He always uses trickery and craftiness to outsmart people when going on gigs. However, he can be childish and doesn't really look before he leaps. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Give me a number between 1 and 326.
49.
She went to Bible camp to be more judgmental. It did not work. Or did it? Brainwash theory.
Agreed. I don't think it worked. I would say she probably gets less judgmental towards the end. We haven't seen her being very judgmental of late, have we?
I think it's reached a kind of quiet judgment. Maybe that's the kind of judgment you're looking for, the judgment where only you know that you're judging.
Yeah, only Maude can judge me.
OMGJM.
Yes. WWMFD, IMDB. she would. I don't think she got brainwashed because she hasn't displayed any erratic signs of it. Like, if she's been brainwashed to act like Maude Flanders.
Hey, you know what? When in Rome.
Exactly. And I know she made 3 friends whose names Trish and Crandall and something else.
It's familiar.
And I feel like a long time ago we established that she just goes to Bible camp for wholesome joy and to see recurring Christian friends that she has. I wouldn't say that. I'd say that it's one of her good experiences in life.
How often does she go? Was it a yearly or a biannually thing?
I'm going to say she goes, maybe once every 2 years, possibly every year. She's not really doing much, is she? She doesn't have, it's not like the Flanders go on a lot of vacations. So it's possible that in the times we're not seeing her in Springfield, she's just at Bible camp. That's very likely. But I think that's her Maude thing. That's her thing, that even though they're all super Christy, I think Bible camp is just Maude's own little, Maude-centric journey. And I don't think we here at the Maudecast are qualified to cover those journeys.
Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Welcome to the Maude Flanders Internet Museum theme park database and pancake restaurant, currently being real fixtured by stink flirting lemurs and their sexy perfume. Weren't there monkeys here? Why don't you give the good people some context for this content we got here?
The context is I haven't rewatched the clips for 6 days, but I'm confident with my knowledge of them anyway. I think they're wrapping up the food critic stuff, where is Uta, and I believe we're going to see her in her second most natural habitat, bird, in this episode.
Let's wait and see, shall we? So, season 7, episode 4, or no, that says season 7, episode 3, criticism
Still
dinner.
wrong.
Criticism dinner. Death clock 9.
That sounds about wrong.
Homer Simpson and Marge are stood in the street outside restaurant ? Look, Marge, I'm making a difference to people's lives. Cue fat people all around. Fat Lenny with chicken drumstick, fat Sideshow Mel with a Slurpee, and fat Ned and Maude.
Yes, it's a beautiful sight.
Maudlin walks across with a stack of bread. Pocket bread, I ask.
It is strange because Ned looks like he's holding a cake, whereas Maude is clearly just holding 4 slices of bread, which will do the trick, to be honest, if she's just eating 4 slices of bread as if they were 1 slice of bread. She's essentially having a bread Big Mac is what she's eating there. I like that her chubby cheeks are sort of pushing her eyes up, the bottom of her eyes is more, it sort of looks more rounded because of her chubby Maude cheeks and her little wobbly chin. That Ned's great as well. To be honest, I've never really looked at the Ned.
The Ned's got his belly showing underneath and he is eating either a hamburger or a cake, it's hard to tell. Do you think Maude had to let her clothes out a little bit to accommodate for this extra girth?
It seems like that skirt might have been something. They all look quite stretchy, don't they? Because Ned's wearing his normal clothes and he's bulging out of the seams, whereas Maude's clothes entirely still fit her, which it's about time we got to this 70 plus episodes in or whatever. But is that the pink thing she's wearing is a cardigan, isn't it? Which I'm going to assume is made from wool, which is not stretchy.
It's a bit stretchy.
But it is possible that, given that we know that Marilyn's dead, that Marilyn just had the same outfit as Maude and she has just now taken those clothes because she's stockier.
That would make a lot of sense if Maude dressed exactly like her mother.
Yes.
So
she went from, this is one of those times, she was quite judgmental, saying Homer's a critic, pass it on. I don't understand what the shame is. Homer doesn't want people to know because he doesn't want the restaurants to know before he goes in. But why does it matter if the general public know? Maude and Ned aren't going to do anything with that information other than pass it on to Skinner. And it also, now she's just taking Homer's word on food with such a blind faith that she's gained double the amount of body weight that she had.
Yeah, but are they happy with this? Is this the point, that Homer's suggestions are so delicious that they all just pile on the pounds? I don't understand the logic here.
No, I don't, because Homer still wouldn't have. It seems like Homer's just reviewing a lot of restaurants that are good, but those restaurants were already good and they were already in Springfield. And Ned and Maude aren't a going out doing stuff kind of couple, but they know plenty of other couples that are. Luann would have known all the good places. And
Yes.
this, I kind of would have enjoyed this look for Maude more permanently. I think she suits this sort of like chunkier look. She looks more like cute and wholesome, but it wouldn't work for the sort of like nastier side of her. She sort of looks a bit too wholesome to be that judgmental.
I don't know. I've seen people of all sizes throw shade on people.
Oh yes, it's just she has a sweet face, so it looks more.
A face
Maybe
full
it
of
would have come
sweets.
across. Yes, exactly. She would have been more jarringly mean. The sourest lemon ball in existence. Pocket bread.
Up to. I asked if she was eating pocket bread there or just regular bread.
Yes, I am. I'm on board for bread.
IMIFDB.
Go to bread.
Clip 2. EI, Season 11, Episode 5, Death Clock 9.
Still.
Still,
Have I added the note there where I said I've been doing it wrong?
Yes, but then you continued. There's more Death Clock shenanigans as we go on. Leaving the theatre in an orderly manner, Maude is heading out, arms gently in front of her. Milhouse Sr., Ned, the poke of Zorro. Todd is running. Maude does not stop him.
Yeah, Todd and Rod, I've never really paid. This is a hard Maude to spot if you're not looking for her, isn't it? But they run out and start playing in the foyer, which is quite sweet. I've never noticed it before, and they look like they're having a relatively chilled out day, and that's probably because this film was way better than the last movie they went watching last week, which was the Gibson vehicle. Something about cut that out. Yes, I'm going to read you a list in a minute of when we finish talking about this, but they're in the theatre watching this film, this Zorro film. You don't see Maude naturally, and it shows the credits are like a screenshot kind of joke, and I'd never noticed them before. But I'll read you the cast of the credits of this movie now. Zorro, John Biner, I don't know who that is. Robot Zorro, Sean Wayans. Mrs. Zorro, Rita Rudner. Scarlett Pimpernel, Curtis Bugger Armstrong, King Martin, Cheech Marin, Man in the Iron Mask, Gina Gershon, Wise Nun, Posh Spice, Stupid Nun, Meryl Streep, Time Traveler 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Orangutan at Dance, Puddles, Gay Seeming Prince, Spalding Gray, Man Beating Mule, Eric Roberts, Mule Beating Man, Gus, Hiccuping Narrator, Pele, President Van Buren, Robert Evans, Corky, Anthony Hopkins, Voice of Magic Taco, James Earl Jones.
That's a great cast. What?
It is.
Sounds like a hell of a movie.
It really does. I'd never really noticed that one before, so I noticed it this time. I thought it was worth bringing up, despite its lack of Maudiness. But yeah, I don't know. We've never seen them in the theatre before, and now we've seen it twice in 2 weeks, basically.
Last week they had a reason for going, the Gibson reason. What was the reason this week?
Nothing. It leads to this is the glove slap one. It leads to they see Zorro slap someone with a glove and challenge them to a duel in the movie, and then Homer just starts doing it to people. But there's no logical or story reason that the Flanders are attending. Maybe they're just, I said, because she's basically in every episode bar about 3 until she dies for season 11. So I think maybe they're just trying to cement, just keep them seen for a while, keep them fresh in people's subconscious.
Or regular conscious.
Yes. But yeah, I imagine they enjoyed this film a lot more.
So in Batman, they go to see Zorro the night that his parents are killed, spoiler. And I wondered if that's where they were leading with this, if someone would leave that theatre and go to a back alley and get shot.
That is not what happened, unfortunately. There was no gang murders in this episode.
Clip 3. Season 11, Episode 6, Hello Gutter, Death Count 8.
Yes. The last episode was called EI Do, by the way.
Okay. A crowd is watching Hello Gutter, Hello Father, I believe is the real title.
Yes.
A reference to that camp song I like to sing. A crowd is watching Homer at the bowling alley. HJ says, "Oh, why won't they come over? I'm so lonely." We pan across all the big players, including Huge Headman. Maude is smiling. Cane Cure hands clasped. Ned is terrified, arms by side, ready to strike.
Excellent. I said in like episode 1 or 2 of this season that I was going to do that spoilers thing where I say it's a last for something, and then I didn't last week. So I'll pick it back up here. Last time going to the cinema, we've got
Okay.
last time gaining and losing an entire human being's worth of weight, and now we're getting to see him at the bowling alley one more time, which is very sentimental for us, but probably completely unintentional on their end. But let's pretend it wasn't. Homer saying "I'm so lonely" is very, very good delivery, and he's basically back to bowler. We've covered this. Our cousins have covered this episode twice. It's just taken us a while to catch up. I think
Right.
it came up Mole Man, Kingdom of the Moles, and I think it came up like Stu or Poochie or someone, one of the early ones. So this is our this is the third time around, and she's finally here. She looks very supportive, way more than that.
Yeah, I was very surprised by her level of support for Homer J. Well, why is she so appreciative of his work? What's going on there?
I think both of their reactions can be explained by a love of bowling. Like, I think Ned's feeling the pressure in a more competitive way, which is interesting because I would have said out of the two of them, they would have put Maude as the competitive one, just compared to Ned. And yeah, maybe her appreciation of good bowling trumps her dislike of Homer in this situation. So as long as she's getting to witness
That would make sense.
bowling, then she's on board. She's judging him here in a good way. Very pro Homer episode, really.
Who is the man with the very big head?
I don't know. He is the third brother of Sam and Pink Beard Man.
Doesn't look like it, but I'd be interested to see when if he pops up in the post-apocalypse. He does seem like the kind of man who would survive a nuclear holocaust with his giant head.
Yeah, Sniper's Dream, they called it.
Clip 4. Gotcha, DC, see above. Some big cheering going on. Snake, IMA, Millhouse Senior, and Maude, arms raised and going for it. Ecstatic Willie.
They are continuing to celebrate.
What are they celebrating?
I think this is Homer's final bowl to, like, I think at this point it's either become clear or has already happened that he's successfully bowled the perfect game, or like this is his last sort of thing and they're cheering him on. It's a good group of people though, isn't it? It's a good group of A-listers.
Oh, aye, definitely. Look at Willie's face. He can hardly believe it.
Yes, he's thrilled. And again, out of everybody in this group, it makes the most sense for Ned and Maude to be here for once. Like the opposite of them watching the poke of Zorro. They are, this is one of their hobbies. So it's a shame the other bowling-themed characters weren't brought back for this scene, but the people working on season 11 were simply too lazy.
So Maude is not wearing her bowling outfit. Why is that?
She is not bowling.
And to this experiment, take your arm, bend it at a slight angle, and see how far over your head it goes. Maude's goes to eye height. Does she have very short arms? And do all the Simpsons have very short arms?
I was looking at this specific screenshot thinking she does have a tiny arm there, but I'm assuming it's going to extend, like a slinky.
I don't know if there's any way you can bend at that angle and get it to be eye height.
To be fair, in a couple of weeks, it's going to be bent the opposite way backwards on the floor of a car park. So.
Good Lord, spoiler. So, do you think the silence behind Maude's face here is Marsha's silence or Maggie's?
I think it's definitely Marsha's, but I wonder how many lines on the cutting room floor the Roswell ladies had around this time. I wonder if they had to go back and doctor a couple of scripts because they didn't want too much Roswell difference. However, that first appearance of MMG last week with the fire stuff was essentially a monologue for Maude, or like 6 or 7 lines in sequence. But after studying it for like 63 episodes, you still didn't clock there was a voice change. So she must be doing quite a good job.
Oh, she did great. I think it's brilliant. MMG wandered in as if there had been no change at all. But you know what? She'll never be Maggie in my heart.
No, it's weird that we're now in a time without Roswell, but...
How about Jean Lave? You like this one?
She looks great. It's like a lovely woman.
I don't think MMG has really hit her stride yet.
No.
How many words has she said so far? Guess
She's
that was...
appeared twice. We already covered one of them in our Treehouse of Horror, Late Night Fog Walk. So she's had 2 Maude appearances now, and both of them have probably surpassed the amount of Maude lines that Roswell got in the early days. So it's sort of, they went in with a lot of MMG faith. They were like, yeah, she can handle it. Give Maude like 10 lines in a row.
I really want to know what happened in between for them to decide that Maude had to go.
Yeah, we need some inside intel, and IMG doesn't remember much, as I've already asked him, and he wrote the episode. So
IMG,
but,
did you just not like MMG? Is that why you got rid of her and just just decide to hold out until Roswell ran out of cash and came back?
This is it was never feasible what the plan was. It just doesn't make sense. Like, first of all, they got this woman to come in, and she could pretty much. She could do an all right Helen and a pretty good Miss Hoover and a pretty good Maude, but she never attempted Luann. But then they killed Maude, one of the voices that she could do, and then they fired her altogether and just brought Maggie Roswell back. So all of it could have just been, there was absolutely no need to do it. And I'm going to rewatch the commentary before we get up to the episode, but they do say something as like they sort of took the opportunity after Roswell quit to do something with, like, they knew they were going to have like 5 non-speaking women now for a while, and they thought wouldn't it be fun to kill one of them, basically. And then it's the nicest to do it to Ned, Ron, and Todd, because they believe in heaven so effectively that they would know, even if Maude died, they know that she would be okay, so they would be happy. Whereas if they killed off like Luann,
the godless heathen,
it would just be a sad story of Kirk not being able to financially look after Millhouse.
Oh, the missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't remember saying thank you.
I don't recall saying good luck.
I don't recall saying goodbye. Clip 5, Gutter, Death Count 5. It's the same episode, and yet we've gone from 8 to 5.
Here's what's happened. It's not the same episode. I think I don't think I changed the title. This is I think it's called Grift of the Magi.
Okay.
And it's a Christmas episode, but you don't really get too Christmassy.
Not in our part. Nothing to suggest other than a little bit of wheelchair shenanigans.
Precisely.
The crowd is cheering.
I think the death count might be right now.
Okay. Crowd is cheering. Todd, big eyes. Maude eyes lifted, hands clasped. Oh, Lord. Thank you, says Skinner on podium school steps. To inaugurate our ramp system, here is the first of what I hope will be many disabled students. Bart Simpson. Pinched face Maude claps, and crowd parts as Bart walks up. There is an elaborate series of ramps near the steps. What the? Skinner says. Bart, where is your wheelchair? Don't need it anymore. Doc says my butt bone is stronger than ever. Slams his butt repeatedly onto the floor. Ta-da. Surprisingly, no judgmental Maude. Clasps and scowls, only she doesn't scowl. Ta-da, says Bartholomew.
Wonderful. Sometimes people run out of steam. Season 7 of the Maude-cast is chaotic enough to establish that might be happening, but we're not even close.
No, I've got lots of steam. I got steam for years.
There's steam coming out of my
ears.
Did I leave in the line? Skinner keeps getting some good lines post-Maude appearance this season. He says, the first of what I hope will be many disabled students, which is said in such an optimistic way. And he also says something about, he says something about, now when people ask, does your school qualify with like the Disability Act of 1974, I can say we are closer than ever.
That's good.
Bart did something to his bottom. I can't remember what happened.
Bottom bone.
But he basically broke his coccyx, but I don't remember how. And so they get all the ramps put in, but by Fat Tony, and then they instantly crumble after this scene. But very small group of people, including the mother of Sherry and Terry. And but again, Rod and Todd don't go to this school.
It's strange as to why they're there at all, to be honest, any of them.
Yeah, like such is why invite invite like 10 people. There's not a big crowd of people, so it's not an opening ceremony. And it's not just the students and teachers, it's like parents of students who don't go to the school.
Yeah.
Isn't like Lenny there? There's a group, yeah.
My picture doesn't show. This is Sherry and Terry's mum here, right next to her, I think, right?
The one with like the purplish lilac hair, Jerry, as she is called. There's a lot of goofy Maude. This is one of those I said the other week about promising some bad Maudes before we wrapped up this season, and this was one of the biggest examples I had of that. Like, her eyes change size and shape about 4 times in this scene. Like, her nose is just a straight line. She is very, and like, this is the longest neck we've seen on her for a while. It was like Naomi Campbell.
She does have a long neck. That is a very good Maude. It's the opposite of Bongo.
It's a distinct Maude, and I appreciate anything that's off model. But yeah, there's a couple in this one just where she's got giant, like big doe eyes, and she's looking at Bart with concern and stuff. And my only logic for them being here is that they are supportive of causes, and if the school was doing something for the cause of like disability, then I think they would just show up to be supportive of that because they're the nicest family in town.
They are. It's a genuine support, right? They're like, oh, finally, that school's doing something to help the kiddies.
Yes, or they wanted to see Bart in a wheelchair.
It is at this point, and I guess South Park kind of beat them to the punch, right? It is strange that they haven't introduced a disabled kid at any point in the last 10 years.
31 years.
No, but there was at some point in the last decade or so where it was like, yeah, you probably need to start representing people a little bit more. But maybe because South Park brought in that disabled kid, right?
Well, South Park, for all of its controversies, has been pretty much covered its own back from the get-go. Like, it's got 2 disabled kids, and Timmy just shouts Timmy. But a lot of the Jimmy stuff isn't about the fact that it isn't just making disabled jokes. Like, they're just sort of part of the group of kids. And then they sort of got gentrified about 10 years ago as well, and introduced a load of, like, they're only like background kids and stuff, but different kids of like different races and stuff. Token, also, the character Token Black, he's always been voiced by a black actor. So they basically, everything that, even though it's the most controversial one, it's always kind of been the most inclusive one. Whereas, yeah, Simpsons avoided anything sort of, they didn't want to go, they want to make light-hearted controversy in jokes. They don't want to go, well, they can't anyway, because it's Fox, but...
Or Fox, that most reputable of all.
Yeah, well, they're very sensory, aren't they? Like, I bet there's a lot of stuff that they just weren't allowed to do. But I imagine representing disability wasn't one of the things they weren't allowed to do.
It's exclusionary if we don't make fun of all people. But you have to have all people in your show. So we're going to have a show or a cast that has a diverse, to some degree, cast. Then we can make jokes at the expense of everybody. Whereas The Simpsons is almost entirely white, heterosexual, able-bodied Americans. Men. It really is, isn't it?
What's strange, though, is Futurama came out after 9 seasons of The Simpsons, and they've got quite a diverse group of characters, and not just Zoidberg being a lobster, but you got Hermes and Amy, and they're both voiced by racially appropriate people. So Futurama, pretty much from the bat, did it properly, but The Simpsons continued to, because Apu was a good character. He wasn't a bad guy. He was one of the most sort of smart and stable people in town.
It's a bit of a minefield, the whole thing, and I'm sure society will work it all out one day.
Apparently he's coming back next season.
Really? Interesting.
Here's a fun fact as well. Roswell was gone from seasons 11 to 14, and it seemed like an actual, they went to the extent of killing off the character and everybody else didn't speak for 4 years. Apu's been gone now for 5 years, and they just haven't acknowledged it.
In that time, has Manjula or Sanjay appeared, or any of the kids?
I think they've all continued to appear as just in the background, but none of them have spoke or been involved in a story for 5 seasons.
So Apu's appeared in the background?
Yeah, he's still around, but he's not. He hasn't had any dialogue.
They will find an appropriate replacement for Hank Azaria, and we'll have Apu back, welcome back in our arms, and then all the lights are going to be shone on What's her name?
McNeil.
Cress McNeil. Anyway, that's a good and non-controversial way to end these clips. How about you do a bit of spectral speculations?
Sure.
What happened? Tell us about the Bible camp.
Shocking. Yeah, I'm going to say she goes once a year if she can, but it's not a done deal once a year. She might have missed a few. She definitely missed a lot after season 11, but if not all of them after season 11. But I think she just goes, that's sort of her like retreat. That's her sort of week to herself, or like for herself. I think she said that just to sort of get under Marge's skin, the thing about being more judgmental. I think she knows that Marge thinks that she's judgmental, so she just wanted to irritate her, but I don't think that's the ultimate goal of the week, is to do that. It's probably all just sort of things that you see in like cults and stuff, but without the, like the mass drinking of poison. Just the sort of like sitting around in a little circle and singing songs about Christ. And Maude probably had a little, I imagine she had a cute little set of bongos that was there, and she used to read them to herself. Ka-ching. No, she used to play the bongos.
That's pretty nice.
Next week. Yeah, and she made 3 friends. I think it's Tish, Lamar, and Crandall, if I can remember properly. And they all just very easygoing people. They found God. They just want to show God to other people and have a nice life, enjoy things.
Why didn't they go to the funeral?
Maybe they did. We don't know all. This is the thing. We're getting there. But when we actually do get to the funeral, we're going to look at each and every person that's there and try and determine who they are. So there's every chance those 3 people were at the funeral. We just didn't recognise them because we don't know what they look like. The strangest person at the funeral for me, we'll get into it much later in the day, but Pyro, Luann's boyfriend, attends the funeral.
Without Luann, right?
No, Luann is there as well. Helen Lovejoy does not go there, but Pyro does.
Are you sure we don't just see her? She isn't just off camera?
No, she's definitively not there.
Oh la la. Well, we shall cross that bridge when we Maude do it.
Exactly. 12 Maude, 2 Maude.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
But right now, I need a plan, boys, to get off my impeachment, as in they've impeached me again. It's the last day of school, and not only have I not studied for the test, I do not know how words work. Oh look, there's SpongeBob. Yeah, I did his voice, and they paid me $4,000 per word.
I don't think you did the voice of SpongeBob, Maggie.
Shut up, yo.
Can't see the notes. There they are.
I'm bloody hell, I'm gonna rip the roof off this, and I'm going to get to grips with you finally, Roswell. I'm gonna send you to Maude. Ka-ching.
Murdoch's on top of the limo.
Oh, bloody hell. Clinton? Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right, Rupert. You can't come in here. Remember, we've got a cease and desist. Remember, I've got what's that thing called? A restraining order against you. I've had enough of this. Mars, knock him off the roof. Bang. Clinton, shut up. You're going to jail. Take me home to Denver.
We're nowhere near Denver.
Choggy, nope, Chindy, Gindy, turn this ship around and take me home. Okay.
Glory, Gindy.
You got a diary there?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Dear Diary, today I met Stephen Hawking. Can you Adam and Eve it? I went to a rally that Lisa Simpson, Springfield's answer to a question no one asked, was giving some kind of speech yesterday in a gazebo, whatever they're called, and everything obviously went wrong because this town's full of idiots, and the thing smashed down, and some very bad people smashed down the gazebo, and it was reckless. I was just there, I didn't do it, nobody saw me do anything. You haven't got anything on me. I can see Officer Lou out the window. You haven't got anything on me, Officer Lou. But then Hawking, the science man, he dropped Lisa Simpson off, he saved her life or something, I don't know. And then I just couldn't not, after we've not met Edward Christian yet. After the hype of seeing Isabella Rossellini float past the other week, I'm in a bit of a, like a celebrity autograph finding thing, so I've got a little autograph book, and now I've got Rossellini in there, and I asked Stephen Hawking could I have his autograph, and he just looked at me and said, no, clearly you can't have my autograph. And I was like, oh, I feel stupid now. And he was like, well, compared to me, you're stupid anyway, but I like the cut of your jib. Here's an autograph. So he got a stamp. He did a stamp for me in my book. I'm hoping I get to meet more celebrities soon. My top 3 are, I really want to meet Laura Dern. I would love to meet Mewtwo and Mel Gibson. If I could just meet one of those 3 people, I would die a happy yet flattened woman. I really enjoy hot dogs at the minute as well. That's about it for this week. I also went to do some yoga with Helen, but I had to leave because looking at her was making me feel sick. Bye.
Well, quite the adventure. It's good to see that Stephen Hawking visit from another perspective, and she made a bit of a faux pas there, but he's such a nice chap, he kind of let her get away with it, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was very, I imagine, just as starstruck as she was.
Are you Maude Simpson off the Flanders?
Exactly. Are you Marge Van Houten?
Did something happen to your voice?
What's wrong with your frog?
Eto, let's have a song. Eto, Peoples, Kufat, Erosen.
Borderline walk up toss a stack of break, pocket bread.
Yat Orlium Muad, int from.
More steel process.
Iwatching come ne players hoods.
Ecstatic Willie, shackentind, cod big ease.
In a grey tough mamny discapel sipsum.
Bud bones suratonga than ever, but repeatedly juicemental siaz.
Bartholom wow wow.
Bartholomew wow wow.
Bartholom wow wow.
The end.
Yeah.
Another one in the bag. What a silly show.
Hans Moleman is his name, aka Ralph Mesh. He's a stone cold player, hard as if was mad jealous when he dated Selma first, cause he's only 31. Drinking ruined his life, it's such a sad story, son. He's got a knife in his cane and a fire in his loins. It's the ending of his star who took a football to the groin. Burns thought he was a leprechaun and drilled him in the head. He slept with Lars Ulrich's grandmother, then chilled with her in bed. His mom meddled him at Metallica, though that's not very hard. Homer drove him off a cliff, he's so impatient in his car. He was hauling Poe's house, just another day for hands. But he's back on his feet, cause he's the mother flippin' man. You know there's no escape from the fortress of the moles. He's been burned from overburied, but he's still on a roll. He's been radiated, detonated, heartbroken twice. He's the Lazarus of Springfield, always coming back to life. His name is Mole Man, Hans Mole Man. You can't keep Hans Mole Man down. He's the bad luck Brian of 902 Oak Grove. Hipster glasses so thick and round. He's Mole Man, Hans Mole Man. You can't keep Hans Mole Man down, cause he's trying out for Poochie while he's waiting on his kidney. He's the talk of the whole damn town. Have you seen his green pants? Have you seen his new shirt? He wasn't yelling boo, he was yelling boo earns. Attacked by Roomba robots, gone anthropomorphic. He's part Droopy the dog and part Kenny McCormick. He was riding on his Harley. On the cover of his bio, he crashed into Planet Hype. He's been up there for a while. He was texting when Homer hit him. Was surprised he survived. He's twice as cool as Milhouse, though he can't really drive. Have you ever felt crushed by the weight of this planet? If you have, let me tell you, Hans Moleman understands it. You gotta get up. You gotta put on your shoes and your tie, lace up your orthopedic shoes and look up at the sky. Say, hey, hey, solar rays, today you won't burn me up. Keep that moment PM, hey, you can break out of the rut. Cause when you're stuck in the snow and you're starting to turn purple, just remember Hans' moment when the wolves start to circle. We say, moment, Hans' moment. You can't keep Hans' moment down. Moment, Hans' moment. You can't keep Hans' moment down. All together now. Moment, Hans' moment. Can't keep Hans' moment down. Moment, Hans' moment.